Hello and welcome to this Diablo 4 leveling guide for the Barbarian. I've played a couple of Barbarians through, all on hardcore, had a couple of silly deaths, but I've tried most of the builds from your core skills, so Whirlwind, Hammer of the Ancients, Upheaval, Rend, Double Swing, and I've found that there's no real best early skill because they've all got pros and cons, and that got me thinking about, okay, how can we best level the Barbarian? And I've come up with a new build which I think is really fun, has great gameplay, and with some aspects out of your codex can turn into a real solid, strong build with high damage numbers, which feels really satisfying to play. There's a couple of power spikes we get as we're leveling through, and these are at character level 4, 8, 15, 25 and 35. So I'm going to show you the gameplay at each of them character levels because the rotation of the skills changes slightly. Now you could do this sooner if you've got your skill points from your renown system, but I'm going to assume you haven't as worst case scenario, and hopefully you can give this a go after you watch the gameplay because it is really fun. So I hope you enjoy, and let's have a look at the first rotation, which is character level 4. And as we're going through, we're going to put our points into lunging strike, enhanced lunging strike, and then we're going to grab upheaval. So I'll jump to level 4 and you can see that gameplay. I've just hit character level 4. So this is our first power spike where we bring upheaval into the mix. And the gameplay is really simple. We're going to use lunging strike for most of our attacks. But if we find a big group of monsters, we'll use upheaval because it's got really nice area damage. So we'll quickly show you that. So lunging strike, building our fury, quite a few monsters, and upheaval. Nice and simple. And that'll get you through to the next power spike, which is level 8. So the next couple of points, we're going to come back and get battle lunging strike because that's going to do a lot of damage in the early game. We're then going to pick up enhanced upheaval, furious upheaval, and we're going to grab hammer of the ancients, at which point our skill rotation will change slightly. So I'll get to level 8 and we'll show you that rotation. So we've just got to character level 8, and the first thing we want to do is change the skills around on our toolbar. So we want Hammer of the Ancients on our right click, and we're going to move Upheaval over to our third button, in this case E. And now we're going to start the fight with a couple of lunging strikes to build our fury up. Once our fury's topped up, we're going to go into Hammer of the Ancients, back into lunging strike for 2 or 3 attacks, and then upheaval. And from there on out, it's going to be 2 or 3 lunging strikes, hammer, 2 or 3 lunging strikes, upheaval. And that's the general rotation. And the reason we want to do that is to get our 6 stack bonus for upheaval. So I'll show you quickly how that's going to look. So build our Fury first, and once our Fury's high, hammer the Ancients, 1, 2,
I'm not ready yet.
Upheaval. 1, 2, hammer, 1, 2, Upheaval. We can keep that rotation up for quite a while before we need to restock our Fury. So that's our level 8 rotation. So the next power spike is going to be at level 15. So the next couple of points that we're going to put in order, we're going to have Enhanced Hammer of the Ancients, which is going to give us more Fury. Rallying Cry to give us more Fury again. And now that we're boosting our Fury gains, we can go into Furious Hammer of the Ancients, so that we're doing more damage based on how much Fury we have. Then we come back to Enhanced Rallying Cry for some Unstoppable, and then we come down and grab Leap, Enhanced Leap and Power Leap, and this will let us start the fight with a big boost to Fury, so that we don't have to spend the first 30 seconds building our Fury up. So I'll level up to 15 and we'll see what that rotation looks like. Just one thing to quickly add. At this point in the game, we don't want to tell the game what weapon to use. We want it to just auto select for all of our attacks, so that we're simply using the strongest weapon we've got. It's not till much later on that we'll actually tell it which weapons. Okay, so we've caught up to level 15. As we say, now we can start and engage with Rallying Cry into Leap, and that's going to shoot our Fury up to around 60. And then we can go straight into our attack rotation. So we don't have to spend that time building our Fury up. And after that first engage, we're just going to use Rallying Cry and Leap as often as we need to keep our Fury at a high level. So we'll go out there, we'll see how that looks. Everything else is the same. So Rallying Cry, Leap. Unfortunately, my vampiric power killed everything, so we'll find something else. There we go. Leap, we get a boost. Then 1, 2, hammer. 1, 2, Upheaval. We can keep that rotation going. We should keep our Fury a little bit higher now. Okay. Leap in, 1, hammer, 1, 2, find some monsters, big pack here, and Upheaval. That would be how it would go. So the next power spike is going to be at level 25, and we're going to start putting the points in on our way in the following order. We're going to get Tactical Rallying Cry for some more burst Fury generation. We're then going to come down and put 3 ranks into Swiftness for some base movement speed. And now that our Fury is much better, we're going to put all of our points into Upheaval to max that out. And then the last 2, we're going to come down and get Hamstring. This will help us later to generate more Fury once we've got some of our Codex aspects. And what we also want is Tempered Fury, and again this is going to set us up to get Furious Impulse once we get past level 25. So I'll catch up to 25. What we also want to do at this point is complete the Barbarian specific quest to unlock your technique slot. I'm going to put two-handed sword into the technique slot. And when we do get level 25, we're going to start using some aspects which are really going to boost this guide, this build, and it'll start doing a lot of damage. Okay, so I'll catch up to 25 and then we'll have a look at what that gameplay is like. Right, now that we've hit level 25, the build really starts to come into its own due to the fact that we have open access to the occultist and our aspects from the Codex of Power.
I can take common.
So in order of priority, on our one-handed weapon, we want to use Earth Striker's aspect, so that as long as we are weapon swapping, every 9 attacks will be an overpower. That's our first aspect. Our second aspect is also on our one-handed weapon, and this time we want Ancestral Force. So now Hammer of the Ancients has a larger area of effect. This will help us to stack the multiplicative damage bonus from Furious Upheaval. So Ancestral Force. And now we want some resource aspects. So on both rings, the first one we want is Unrelenting Fury. So if we kill a normal monster or we hit a boss, we refund some of the fury cost. This is going to help us out a lot. And on the second one, we want Umbral. So that when we crowd control an enemy, and everything we hit we're going to crowd control, we will gain 1 fury. And that's the main damage aspects. Obviously you want to put some defensive aspects on your other gear. So we've got the likes of basic attacks grant damage reduction with the aspect of might. That's always good. We have where are we? Aspect of disobedience. So when we're damaging an enemy, we're getting a stacking armor bonus. That's really good. And then the rest you can fill with whatever you see fit.
Fairly well.
So the way this is going to work now is we will be down to starting the rotation, get into the combat. We can go straight into a Hammer of the Ancients, and because our area is larger, we're going to hit multiple monsters. If we hit 6 monsters, we'll get all of the stacks for Furious Upheaval. So yeah, we jump in the fight, and because of Earth Strikers, we now need to tell the game what weapons we want to use. So we'll do that now because this is really important. Leap is going to be dual wielding. Lunging Strike is dual wielding. Hammer of the Ancients has to be bludgeoning. And then Upheaval we want as slashing. Now every attack we are going to weapon swap, and that will create that stacking bonus. So our standard core rotation is going to be lunging strike, hammer, upheaval. That's 3 attacks. We do that 3 times to give us 9 attacks, and on that 9th attack we will overpower an upheaval. Now at level 25 we are just a little bit short on our fury generation cycle. So in the next 10 levels, because that level 35 is where we get our next major power spike, we are going to go 3 points into Furious Impulse, which is going to straight away sort out our fury problems. Then Wrath of the Berserker, Prime Wrath of the Berserker, Supreme Wrath of the Berserker. Then we're going to go into Aggressive Resistance, which is, where are we? Down here. Sorry, here. Aggressive Resistance. And then 2 points into Battle Fever. And that should give us enough points to come down and get Unconstrained. So I'll show you the play style now, how it all comes together. And we're going to get a little buff down here of 2 crossed swords. We need to make sure that when we cast Upheaval, that stack, that buff has a number 3 or 6 on it. If it does, we're in sequence. If it doesn't, we're out of sequence and we have to fix it. And the very first time you load into the game, you're probably going to be out of sequence. The easy way to tell is when you leave town, like I've got here, I've got hold of one of my 2-handed weapons. If you've got one of your 2-handed weapons, you're in sequence. If you walk out of town and you've got your dual wielding weapons, you are out of sequence. So I'll show you the in sequence gameplay now, because that's the easiest part. So Rallying Cry, Leap, Generate Fury, and then Lunge, Hammer, Upheaval. Lunge, Hammer, Upheaval. That's 6 attacks, and we can see this stacking bonus is on 6. So I'm out of Fury now, but that's fine. So I'll generate some more Fury, and on the next Upheaval we will have a guaranteed Overpower. I'll just get a bit of Fury. So I've done my Lunging Strike, Hammer, now I've got Up. That's our Overpower Upheaval. Okay. So that's what to do if you're in sequence. What to do if you're out of sequence, which I am now. So I'm now out of sequence because I'm on 3, but I've got my 2-handed weapons. So we need to fix that. The easiest way to fix it is just go back and forth between Lunging Strike and Hammer until you get to your Overpower, and then use Upheaval. Okay, so I'm on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I get a bit more Fury. 8. Now I can Overpower with Upheaval, and then back in sequence. I know it's quite a lot of information there, but you need to understand that sequence to always guarantee your Overpower on your Upheaval. Like I said, at the moment our Fury generation cycle isn't perfect, so you might have to do 2 lunging strikes in each rotation. But like I say, we're going to fix that in the next couple of levels. So I'll power through to 35, and then I'll show you the next major power spike. Now that we've hit level 35, there's one more aspect from our codex that'll help us out, and there's 2 skills that we need to change. So from our codex, on our amulet, we want to put Relentless Berserker, so that we've got a chance of extending the duration of our berserk. We've already got Wrath of the Berserker, and we've gone all the way down and got Unconstrained, so that will help us. But to further help the build, there's 2 skills we need to swap. So right at the start we need to swap Battle Lunging Strike for Combat Lunging Strike, and we also want to swap Tactical Rallying Cry for Strategic Rallying Cry, so that we can keep our Fortify as high as possible. So we'll just put 1 point anywhere, we can swap that over, we can swap this over and take our point back out. So we'll show you some gameplay what this is like. We should have good uptime on Berserk through either Leap with our Battle Fever and also Wrath of Berserker, and the rotation is the same as last time, so we're going to jump in, get our Fury high straight off the bat, Lunging Strike, Hammer, Upheaval and repeat, just making sure that we're getting that Overpower on Upheaval. So we'll head out and kill some stuff, see how that looks. Okay, let's see how this goes. We've got our 2-handed weapon, so we know we're in sequence. And now we've got Overpower. There we go. We did all that rotation and we're still on 50 Fury. So our Fury generation is much better. We can also pop Berserk. There we go. Still going. We've got our Rallying Cry back up.
I'm out of Fury.
Now I'm out of Fury, and I'm going to upset the sequence, but that's okay. So I'm 6, 7, 8 Upheaval. Let's find some more. And we know we're back in sequence. Trying to find a bigger pack of monsters. That was just a random Overpower. Next one is our guaranteed Overpower, which is there. So yeah, it's really fun, especially when you're fighting a big boss pack. You get that guaranteed Overpower on Upheaval. Big damage, really nice. And that's the build more or less in its entirety. Obviously with the last what 15, 25 skill points you're going to get. There's lots of tweaks we can make, quality of life, maximum life for more damage and survivability, prolific fury, more fury generation, so on and so forth. So what I'll do is I'll put a list just after this gameplay of all 1 to 48, is it, I believe, with Renowned, all the skill points, so you can see where they all go. But I hope you enjoyed that, and probably do another follow-up video once we've started to hit paragons, because there are some paragon boards which will help this out as well. But yeah, it's good fun. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.